So yeah.
Stop right there, criminal scum! You have committed crimes against
Floor Jansen
and her people. What say you in your defense?
I'm sorry. What's up, Quarter Pounders and Nightwish Army? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Wave Potter, and before I say anything else, I want to apologize to the hardcore Nightwish fans for committing two of the cardinal sins against Nightwish. First, I compared them to Evanescence, Amy Lee, which huge no-no I've learned, and also I paused right before Floor's huge note near the end of the song. I just paused too much in general, but I'm going to try to do better this time around. I don't have much experience yet. I've only been doing this for a couple months. I'm still very much learning, but I was blown away by the band and I'm really excited to look more into them. So speaking of which, I want to say a huge thank you to Gabriel. Many people told me that Gabriel would be coming and sharing this comment in honor of Anne Wakeoff or Wachoff. I hope one of those is the right pronunciation. So first of all, I just want to say, if you knew Anne, I'm really sorry for your loss. That really sucks, and I wish I would have found Nightwish sooner so I could have gotten to know her, but I'm glad that her memory's living on and that Gabriel's carrying on this tradition. That said, I was going through this email Gabriel sent, and turns out their backing tracks that are pre-recorded for their live shows are recorded by the London Philharmonic Orchestra, the Metro Voices choir group from London, and London's Young Musicians Children's Choir are all regular partners for recording their backing tracks. So that's really cool. They have actual organic music in their backing tracks. Since I'm still so new to the band, I still don't really know who I'm looking at because the band's been around such a long time. There's been a lot of shuffling and turnover within the members themselves. But Floor Jansen is the current singer, and I heard a lot of good things about Empu Vuorinen, who is the lead guitarist. As I was going through Gabriel's comment, I saw that this particular song, there's a note next to it that said it had a Middle Eastern feel, which I always love when rock music mixes with a Middle Eastern flair. Just a cool sound. So today I'll be watching Sahara live at Tampa from 2017. At least that's when it was uploaded. I'm excited to check it out. So if you're looking forward to this, pound that like button, subscribe and ring that buddy bell, and let's jump into this. If this is your first time here, I started playing drums when I was 2 years old. I went on to become a multi-instrumentalist and play in many bands. Now I like to make one-man band covers on YouTube and watch other bands react, analyze, and break it down.
Break it down.
Wow. Oh, those pinched harmonics in that riff sound so good. Cool change up with the double kick there. That's a beautiful sound. Interesting notes. Man, that vibrato is good. Love that offbeat guitar in there. voice is breathtaking. Wow, amazing vocal control in that riff there. Oh, cool harmony in the background too. Wow, this is epic. The James Bondy sound all of a sudden. Every part of this band sounds so good, so clean. It all blends together so well too. Whoa! That was so cool. I gotta go back. That was awesome. How is that counted? Wow. That bass tone is so beautiful. And the keyboards. That was an epic rest right there. I love how different that harmony is. Never heard one like that before. I don't know if this is the same drummer from the last video I watched, but I gotta hand it to him. So solid. Perfect pocket. Oh. These vocal riffs. Gotta go back. I gotta. Oh. Such amazing vocal control. Man, she really held that note for a long time. I love that keyboard in the background. So cool. And that is a good vocal dynamic too. She can go from these crazy powerful notes to these really gentle, soft notes. Just such a great dynamic range she has. Alright, I need to see this again. Is that okay with you? Because there was so much going on. I'm sure a lot of stuff went over my head. And of course I can always do a deeper dive in the future. Gotta be honest, I'm really nervous. to say anything after the last video because I just got a lot of comments that I pause too much, talk too much, all that stuff. So I was too scared to pause it during the first time. But now that I've seen the whole thing, I've kind of taken in a little bit. I want to go through it again and be okay with pausing this time because I've already watched the whole thing. I think that might be the best MO for Nightwish videos. Do you agree? I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. I love the way it starts off so strong after that keyboard intro. Yeah. Wow. Whoa. The keyboardist is playing both this chord in the back and playing lead over here. That takes some coordination. Dang. This sounds like a very complex lead part to be also playing. Yeah, he's playing like the chords right here and then playing the lead over here. That's awesome. Sick drum fill too. Almost like a unison with the keyboard. I love how much that drum fill highlighted what was happening on the keyboard and guitar. Love unison like that. Dang. So cool. Love how he uses the tremolo bar to like go into notes. I mean, most people will use a tremolo bar after the note's already ringing out to add modulation, but to be able to use it to lead a note in takes a lot more practice and skill because you can't hear the note before you're manipulating it. You just have to trust where your hand is. And that sounded so cool. That melody was so interesting. I love how he looks at the camera there. Oh, but the sound effects in the background of this, that big like clanging hammer was like this wide open spacey feel. It sounds so cool in the background. Just adds to the epic feel of this. Okay, sorry to pause it, but we already watched the whole thing. I gotta say, I love how she leads in this second part here. It's as he instead of as he. You know, she kind of threw me off there the first time, the way she goes down a note. Actually, is that one or two? Yeah, it's just one note. But sounds so good. And that guitar, that with that offbeat, almost like reggae style guitar, but in symphonic metal. You can see her jaw moving with the vibrato. I don't know how some singers are able to also use their mouth because, you know, the opening of your mouth, it doesn't control your vibrato. It controls the frequencies that are allowed to escape your mouth. Obviously, the narrower your mouth is, the higher the frequencies are. Almost like a wah pedal, like ah wah 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 wah. Wait, no. Other way around. The narrower your mouth is, the lower the frequencies are that escape. I don't even know if it's a frequency thing or what. Yeah, it sounds like a frequency thing. Anyway, that's what moving the mouth does. The vibrato happens in the chest and the throat, but to also impact the frequency, give it that kind of almost like a low pass filter with your mouth. And that's how like a talk box works. The tube comes up from the talk box pedal, goes into your mouth, and then you use your mouth to control the frequencies, the wahs, all that stuff, and then do it into a microphone, like in Living on a Prayer. But anyway, it's very interesting that she uses her jaw along with her vibrato. That was so good. The vocal gymnastics she did in the middle of that lick right there, so well controlled and has such great stamina to keep holding those notes and even change the pitch while she's holding a single note, where she did that like note slide. That was so cool. I just gotta say this while it's paused. I gotta hand it to this drummer because it's so much harder to play in the pocket and play at the correct tempo with a slower tempo like this, because there's more space between each note. There's bigger intervals, so you don't have as many reference notes to stay locked into the tempo. But holy crap, he's staying so perfectly spaced on the grid. That takes a lot of skill. Love that. Okay, so that must be the backing vocals that are recorded by that choir from London. That's so cool. Adds such a power to the music. Oh, that tom pattern is so cool. Oh, and those keyboard riffs are so cool. I can't get over how cool that part is. Oh, that bass riff is so cool. If you can't tell, I'm wildly insecure about pausing during this performance. And it's so ridiculous because, you know, there were a lot of comments about me pausing too much, but there were way more positive comments that should have vastly outweighed the negative comments. But you know how it is when those things get into your head, they bug you and they sap you of your confidence. So I'm a little nervous about pausing while she's singing especially. But that bass riff that happened in the middle of her singing, I can't overlook that. The way he bends the bass note, which is really hard on a bass because they have really thick strings. Oh my gosh, that was so cool. Just that single little bass riff. I gotta figure that out. And how's that the rest of that? I love that. It just, that riff, there was so many little details in it that were just such a conglomeration of different techniques, like slides, bends, hammer-on pull-offs. 12,000 takes later. Well, I didn't play it nearly as well as he did, but dang, that just added such a tantalizing flair to this part. I mean, obviously, the vocals were doing a good enough job of that on their own, but every member of this band is playing fascinating stuff. Love those background harmony voices. They just know how to construct an epic song. I love the goofy faces that guy's making at the camera. Okay, again, scared to pause because she's doing some phenomenal stuff on the vocals, but I gotta point out that offbeat China cymbal right here. Yeah, that offbeat China cymbal. Okay, now I gotta go back and listen to the vocals. Oh my gosh, that is such a cool Middle Eastern vocal technique that she's doing there. Sounds so cool. Oh, I love that. Obviously, I can't do it as fast and as controlled as she can. She's an incredibly talented singer, and I'm, well, yeah. So anyway, I just love that vocal style. Don't underestimate the amount of stamina and control this takes, because it's just non-stop vocal gymnastics. It's exhausting. You have to be so well practiced and well trained with your instrument, the voice. That vocal slide. Oh my gosh. This music does make you want to move, dude, which is surprising. A lot of symphonic metal, it's more like entrancing, like a lot to look at and pay attention to, but this somehow melds both entrancing instrumentation and vocals, but also, like, you can't help but get into the groove. The way all the instruments play off of each other rhythmically. Amazing.
Thank you!
Thank you. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That, I gotta say, definitely more in love with this band than I was at the start of this video. I'm very excited about this little rabbit hole. Thank you again so much to my patron, Mac Lundy, for even getting me to look at this band. He had been suggesting Nightwish for a while, and I kept pushing it off. And, I've been blown away by the absolute gigantic fan army they have on YouTube. It blows my mind that I've never heard of them before, and like usual, I'm very ashamed of that. But I'm glad I've found them now, and I'm excited to see more of their stuff in the future. Obviously, I kind of prioritize bands based on how well the videos do, what the majority of people want to see, and the first Nightwish video I did blew my mind with the amount of feedback and support. So Nightwish will be officially becoming one of the regular staples on this channel, because I want to make videos that people want to see. I also make special request videos. If you join my Patreon or you visit my website, in the show more section below, you can make personal requests of me of videos that I will make, and that's always an option. But that said, I'm coming up on over 40 minutes of recording time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to pound that like button if you enjoyed this video, and if you're still here, you might as well subscribe and ring that buddy bell, because you probably won't hate what I upload. So I want to say thank you to all of my patrons. You guys help keep me motivated, and I really appreciate your support. If not for my patron Mac, I wouldn't be here right now. So thank you for that, and that's where I'm going to wrap it up. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.